Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of really interesting bodybuilding updates. Before we start with them, I want to give a shout out to my boy Eric Janicki, who just launched his gym equipment line, TorQ line. It's basically a bunch of equipment to make your to help you optimize your training. One of the things that I got actually is this wedge. It's basically used for your leg training. I still haven't tried it. My leg day is tomorrow, but I can't wait to try it because I have terrible knee pains and back pains when I train my legs. And this is supposed to help me alleviate some of that pain and make everything run smoother. So I'm going to train legs tomorrow and let you guys know about it, how good it actually is. But this thing is heavy, to be honest, and big. I was surprised what it actually looks like and how heavy it is. So really excited to try it tomorrow. The launch did amazing. I don't think my shout out is going to help much, but I just wanted to contribute as much as possible. So guys, check it out. A lot of great stuff. It's all on Eric's IG. The idea alone of it is genius. So guys, check it out. Let me know how you like it. If you try it, I'll let you know tomorrow how it works for me. Anyways, the first thing we got for today, guys, is this whole drama between Tonio Burton and Martin Fitzwater. So somebody sent me the original post in which it said that Martin blocked Tonio Burton. I bursted out laughing, and I believed it. I 100% believed that it did look a lot like Martin. However, later on, Tonio Burton posted this disclaimer, basically, in which he explained that this is not really the case. So Tonio says, before this gets out of control and becomes something it's not, Martin and I don't have any issues. We don't have each other blocked, and what I said wasn't a dig at Martin, but he's in the way, just like he'll tell you Nick and Hadi are in his way and he should be aiming to beat them. Keep the stories real. Fazzi said that because Martin is known to block people, not because it actually happened. And apparently it seems like these guys do not follow each other, but they did not block each other. They just never followed each other, which is still also weird. I mean, I feel like Tonio is supposed to give Martin a follow, and I'm pretty sure Martin would follow him back. Of course, Tony doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to follow Martin if he doesn't want to follow him. But, out of respect, since he is a couple of spots above him at a Mr. Olympia, he should be the one to do it if any one of those guys are going to do it. Maybe they have an issue from before. I have no idea. And they're talking here about these guys like they're high school girls who's going to follow each other, who's going to block each other. This is insane. But yes, this is the story today. And apparently, no, these guys did not block each other. Martin did not block Tonio. However, this is definitely an interesting topic for discussion. Not who is supposed to follow who or who blocked who, but who is actually going to place higher at a Mr. Olympia. Look, guys, Martin did kind of set him apart from the rest. He is that top 5, top 6 guy. Tonio was never that high at a Mr. Olympia. However, this year, Tonio made a new name for himself. He made a ton of progress. And if he can beat Martin, then that means that Krijo can also defeat Martin. And do I think that's possible? I think that's absolutely possible because I think Krijo also made that much progress. Both Krijo and Tonio transformed their physiques this past year. Do I think Martin did that? I have not seen that. At the Arnold Classic this year, he looked worse than ever. And this comparison right here was made by this Instagram page, Who is the Best Bodybuilder. I didn't make it, and this is one of Martin's worst showings. I think this is Arnold UK. And if you're comparing him to Tonio right here, and Tonio annihilates him. I mean, Patrick Moore, for God's sake, Patrick Moore managed to beat Martin Fitzwater at the Arnold UK. So this is definitely, this version of Martin can be beaten by almost, not everybody, but like by the top 20, top 30, top 40 guys in the world. But Martin, at his best, like the Prague Pro version, that was one-time thing. That was his absolute best. I don't know if he'll be able to repeat that ever again in his career. Every bodybuilder has their best look of all time. This could be Martin's peak of his look of his career. Maybe he'll never be this good again, or maybe he will improve on this. We don't know. But if you're talking about Martin at his best, which would be Prague Pro last year, 2025, versus Tonio from the New York Pro this year. Who wins that? It is a really good question. I am not sure. I mean, based on the track record, how Martin plays so far, I would have to go with Martin, but I don't think Tonio is that far behind. And if Martin doesn't deliver, which is pretty possible, Tonio can definitely edge him out. Tonio is that freaking dangerous. And yeah, he lost to Krizo, but Krizo is a huge freaking bodybuilder and also super shredded. Martin, however, not that big, much closer to Tonio in terms of frame and structure, and usually isn't super peeled. So, all things considered, I think Tonio definitely has a really good chance of defeating Martin. Personally, at this point, based on what I saw from Martin at the Arnold Ohio and Arnold UK, and also the other shows Martin did, I think it's very likely that he won't be at his best. And in that case, Tonio can beat him. But if Martin brings his 100% look, then I'd probably still go with Martin. Also, another thing, guys, that's very interesting is that Martin just basically committed to doing another Prague Pro. So the EVLS Prague Pro officials page posted this, just his posing routine from last year's Prague Pro. Martin commented and he says, should we make it 3? So yeah, it seems like Martin is coming for his 3-peat at the Prague Pro. He won 2024 versus Chris Bumstead, almost lost that show, but he won still. Last year it was also really tough against Samson Dauda, but he won when he brought his absolute best of all time. And he's coming back this year. Who is he going to be facing this year? Well, Krizo is probably doing it because he's sponsored by the EVLS and probably somebody else. Prague Pro is usually very stacked, so we'll see about that. Martin is in, and no, apparently he did not block Tonio Burton. Not yet, guys, not yet. I think Tonio needs to follow him first, and then Martin will block him, but we'll see about that. All right, the next physique update we got is one from Nick Walker, just standing there in his front relaxed, looking like an absolute monster, but also not looking super aesthetic with that midsection, looking like freaking Bane or some villain from a superhero story. I mean, he looks insane right here. He doesn't look like he's freaking human. And also, he's huge, he is conditioned, and of course, all the speculation is about what show is Nick doing next. When is Nick competing next? Is it going to be this year? Is he going to do a Mr. Olympia qualifier and do the Mr. Olympia? Or maybe just compete next year at the Arnold Classic? Once again, we don't know the answer. The rumor has it that he's doing the Texas Pro. We'll see if that's really the case. He looks insane at this point. Huge, shredded, and he definitely looks like he could be prepping for the Texas because he has 11 weeks to prep for that show. That's plenty of time, more than enough time to get ready for the stage. He can keep it chill and cruise right along, as he likes to say, for the next 5 weeks or so, to be honest. Like at the 6 weeks out, he can just ramp things up, get a little bit sharper, peak for the show, do a dehydration, and just dominate the Texas Pro. I don't think anybody can beat him. As far as the guys we know who are doing that show, that's Joe Palacios currently. As far as Jordan Hutchinson, from this new information that I heard, he's actually doing the Italy Pro in 3 weeks. And if he doesn't win Italy, he's not even going to try and do Tampa and Texas. But I don't know who else is doing Italy, so he's probably going to win that show and still do Tampa and Texas. And Jordan Hutchinson is the next in line, I think, to place below Nick or to challenge. The only guy that can probably do that. But, I mean, I'm saying challenge Nick Walker, not beat him. However, there was only 4-spot difference at a Mr. Olympia. Jordan was 10th and Nick was 6th. So, you know, Nick not at his best and Jordan at his best, slightly improved. That can be an interesting two-man call-out. But I don't think Nick is going to fail at the way he did at the Mr. Olympia ever again in his career, to be honest. I mean, we never know, but I don't think it's going to happen. So if Nick is at like, I don't know, 90, 80%, he probably still wins any show out there other than Arnold Classic and the Mr. Olympia. But whatever you guys think, tell me down below. Oh, yeah, and another guy that Nick would be facing if he decides to do the Texas Pro, it would be Regan Grimes, who is currently coached by Dom Super Sliced, and I would say he looks probably better than ever. To be honest, I think Regan, working with Dom is definitely the right move. I think Dom is going to get him shredded and keep him big and full. And just like Dom said on my post about coaching Eric, he said that 50% of coaching is really just being devoted to your client and not being bombarded by the other clients while you're picking somebody, especially those last couple of weeks. Now, I'm sure Dom has a gazillion of freaking clients as well, but I don't think he has that many pros under his watch currently. So I think he can definitely focus a lot of attention to Regan Grimes. And yeah, these top pros, open pros, they require a lot of attention. And the more you give them, the better it looks. So I think if Dom really tries hard, I think he's going to nail Regan and bring the best out of him. Do I expect to see some new, crazy, improved version of Regan? No, I don't expect that for Dom to bring out of Regan. I'm expecting maybe a 20 up to 30% improved Regan, just slightly sharper and maybe fuller and harder. I think Dom can do that, and I think Regan is going to be at his absolute all-time best at a Texas Pro. Can he challenge Nick Walker? No, I don't see that happening. Can he challenge Jordan Hutchinson? Absolutely, yeah. If Nick doesn't do those two shows, anybody else pretty much out of the other guys can have a chance, like Joe Palacios, like Jordan Hutchinson, like Regan, and I'm sure many others. But as far as beating Nick gets 90% or 85%, I don't see these guys doing it. I think Nick is on that top level with the top guys like Samson, Hardy, Andrew, and Derek. And I think Nick is definitely in that mix. Martin is kind of knocking at the door, but not very consistent. So I think that's the top echelon of bodybuilders. Everybody else is just beneath them. If they are on, of course, if Nick fails with conditioning, he still probably wins. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Regan on that stage again, improved, I'm sure, because in these photos right here, he does look pretty freaking crazy at a weight of 293, guys. 293 in pretty good condition. Of course, there is a lot of work to be done here, but we have 11 weeks, more than enough time to prep Regan, to make him look spot on. We'll see about this one, guys. Tell me down below in the comments whatever you think. Now, another guy that we just might see at Texas as well could be Quinton Eriya. Quinton Eriya is competing at a Toronto Pro in 2 weeks from now. Actually, less than 2 weeks, like 10 days. And actually, his conditioning is changing really dramatically. When I saw his look at like 5 weeks out or so, I thought there is no chance this guy is going to get ready. And I thought that if Eric gets shredded and shows up at this show, and Quinton is in his usual conditioning, which is basically not even being conditioned, I thought Eric was gonna easily beat him, but that's not happening, not easily, at least because Quinton is obviously coming in much sharper than I expected. Eric is also looking phenomenal right now. I gotta say, his rebound is going very, very well. I should make another video of his post-show rebound, and maybe later of his off-season as well. I mean, as far as his rebound currently, we're just doing some tests. We up the food quite a bit, but we're trying to, up it slowly every week and just keep lowering the test till we get to the TRT point and then cruise a little bit, and then later start the off season. But even just with test and with all the other gear that he took during his peak week and the last couple of weeks, they're still pretty much in, and with a combination of tests on top of that, he's just responding so well, and he's training like a maniac. He's eating a lot of quality food, a lot of protein. We increased the protein a lot. There is still a lot of details that I could talk about as far as Eric's rebound, but it's going really well. He's progressing nicely. If you guys competed recently and you want to maximize your post-show growth phase, I can help you with that. That's the prime time to progress and also clean out, stay safe, stay healthy. You don't force anything really. You don't need a lot to progress after a show. So that's what Eric is doing. He's looking phenomenal. If he decided to jump in and do the Toronto, he could still do really well and probably get a top 2 call out with Quinton, but that's not the plan. As far as Quinton, again, he looks phenomenal. I mean, do I see any huge progress for him? I don't see it right now. Maybe he's dieting now and he's flat, so we can see it. But I don't think he changed his physique dramatically since last year. He looks like he's going to be in decent conditioning. I still don't think he's going to be super shredded. I think he's going to be, lean enough, big, as usual. And if he's lucky enough and nobody super good jumps into Toronto, he can win that show and qualify for the Mr. Olympia. I think he should be on the Mr. Olympia stage, but do I think he's a top 10 Olympia contender? No, I don't think so. But he has a lot of potential. He did have the potential for the past 5 years. He still didn't achieve it. Maybe someday in the future, we'll see. This year, I don't see any huge changes, but I think he's going to be pretty good to win the Toronto Pro. What do you guys think? Tell me down below. And for the end, we got sort of a surprise, to be honest. France Pro this coming weekend, and who is doing it? Well, yeah, of course, we have Sas Hirati, who plans on doing all the shows this year, and he's gonna probably do all the shows. Then also we got Roman Fritz. Yeah, he's still holding on. He's still, as good as he was back last year or a couple of years ago. And it's interesting that we actually have William Bonac doing this show as well. William Bonac is still not retired, even though he retired like 6 years ago. He keeps coming back, and to be honest, from what I'm seeing right here in this post, he looks pretty good. I don't think I would have Sas Hirati winning the France Pro because Bonac is doing it. Based on this video, do I think Bonac is still what he used to be, like last year? Sure, I don't see why not. Conditioning is also spot on. The size is there. He looks good, man. He looks massive. He's not as good as he was back in 2019 when he was placing second on Mr. Olympia, but to win the France Pro, yeah, I'm pretty sure he can do that. I'm pretty sure he's good enough for that, but maybe I'm wrong. Whatever you guys think, if you have Sas winning it or Roman Fritz or somebody else. I mean, last year, Sergey Danilov just popped out of nowhere at this show and he won. He took this show by the storm. So maybe we have somebody else similar to Sergey showing up, somebody from Europe or Russia as well. And no Russian guys here, but somebody from Europe who we don't know about, who's just going to wipe the floor with everybody. But if that doesn't happen, if nobody new and super impressive, wonder kid shows up at his show, it's William Bonac probably, who is the favorite, and Sas Hirati in a close second. But these guys have very similar physiques, Sas and Bonac. I just think Bonac is, rounder and bigger, but it's definitely going to be a very, very interesting show. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you soon, guys. All the best, and bye-bye.